Say word, ladies and gentlemen, what's going down? Make sure everything is on before I get to talking my stuff. How are you guys doing tonight? Fine, I hope. This is day 70 of uh of our Axe Fearless put my keys somewhere else of this Axe Fearless experiment. How's it going, Miss Anya? How are you, dear? Day 70 of the Axe Fearless experiment. And some of you may be wondering, why do I call it an experiment? Because I think if you really want to try something, you really want to do something, you got to do it for at least, to me, you got to do it at least 100 times or 100 days. Okay? 100 days. Hey, what's going on, Rebecca? You got to do something for 100 days at least, I think. Now, there's a guy that I'm always talking about. His name is Maxie Filer. And if you look him up, all you have to look up is Mr. Compton, like as in California, and his face will pop right up. He was an attorney that failed the California State Bar exam 47 times. You heard me correctly, 47 times. Finally passed it on his 48th time. Try. He took that test for 25 years. So anytime a person tells me that I did something for so long and I just quit or this, that, and the other, and that's the reason why I read the way that I do. That's the reason why I read so many books. I've read thousands, plural, not singular. Because I'm always looking for a good story. I'm always looking for a parable. I'm always looking for a metaphorical, philosophical type of story that will get me through to the next step. That's what I'm looking for. Hey, what's going on, Renita? How you guys doing? But that's the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing right now. It's because I said I would do it. I've been wanting to do this for a little over 10 years. And every time I would record something, I would stop and I didn't like it. I don't like the way I look or sound or whatever. So I was like, how about you just go live? At that point, you can't take it back. It's already out there. And that's what I did. I just went live. And I've been going live for, today is the 70th day. I have not missed a day. I was late a couple times, but I've never missed a day. To this point, 70 episodes, I've been here through every one of them. Now, I can't say the same for everybody else, but I have been here for every single one of them. Okay. Thank you, Miss Renita. Look at this. Even people like her, who's been with me every step of the way, even if she can't be here, she stops in just to say, what's up? I got people here. I'm going to get with y'all tomorrow. I'm telling you that is a community. Have a good time, Renita. Have a great time. So how are you guys doing, man, on this beautiful Friday evening that you guys are hanging out with me, which is kind of crazy, but I appreciate it. How are you guys doing? Excuse me. Miss Angie said Chris and her are doing fine. He's taking care of Dylan next door. I am watching a movie and finishing my sweater. I have just finished my blanket afterwards. Okay. Sweet. Hello, Rebecca. How's your day today? What'd you guys do? Okay. Where's Jerry? Is he all right? Oops. I actually flipped up and lost somebody. I don't know. How's Jerry doing? All right, sweet. Okay. All right, I got it. Awesome. Look at that. Even Jerry and Jennifer are out and about right now. So, all right. Well, yeah. Let's just jump in. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Fearless Cummings. Yes, that is actually my real name. Government on my social security and birth certificate. I've been asked that several times. Matter of fact, Facebook years ago. Hmm, okay. Facebook years ago suspended my account and so I could show them my ID because you can call yourself whatever you want to on the outside. Okay. You could be like Renita this or Rebecca grab and snatch or whatever. But on the back end, you have to give them your real name, all that information or whatever. And so they were like, yeah, no, no. Show us your ID, or you need to give us a real name or something about the account. So I had to take a picture of it and sent it to them. They cleared it like within 45 minutes with an apology. So, yeah, there's that. So, Miss Rebecca said, I have 3 kids today. It was great. I took 2 to the library and got a lot of work done on one of my classes. Okay. Then I took all 3 to the pool. All right, sweet. Good evening, Christopher. Has any teachers ever seen your name on attendance roster and thought it was a typo? No, 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 because I usually went by my middle name. So, no, nope. So, nope, no, that never happened. Anywho, let's uh let's jump right in, guys. I mean, if it's just a few of us, that works. And those of you at home, I've been coaching for about 23 years. Yes, I'm an actual certified life coach, philosopher, trainer, all that good stuff. And today, welcome to season 8. Yes, today is season 8. And hold on, let me get it started. Sorry about that. Give me a sec, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and get our presentation going and all that good stuff. So yes, today is season 8. 30 to go, yes, sir. And Christopher said, you guys got 30 more to go. That's it, man. That's it. So without further ado, can we give ourselves a good old fashioned round of applause? Thank you guys so much. Number 2, we're clapping because if you don't clap for you, nobody else will. So you give people permission to clap for you. And you're also clapping because today is day 70. So you're clapping for me for showing up for 70 days no matter what. So thank you guys. Thank you. I'm gonna shut that off. That shit's annoying. That is annoying, but we're still here. So today we're going to kind of dive into what season 8 is going to be about. And it's going to be kind of based on, I put them down, our beliefs, values, principles, rules of engagements, and execution. So we're basically going to take all the stuff that we've learned, put it into this next 9 or 10 episodes. And then after this, we're going to start talking about our dreams, goals, aspirations. And then we're going to, for the last 10 episodes, man, we're just going to kind of get ready to wind down and celebrate. Hey, what's up, Jer Bear? Hey, is Jennifer with you? Tell her I said hello. But yeah, so in our last day, if you guys want to, well, I mean, my crew's already coming. There is a big celebration going on at my house. So we're bringing food, we're bringing each other, all that good stuff or whatever. I'm pretty sure that it would be the first time in YouTube history that everybody that's usually online will actually be in one person's house. So I don't know if it's 15 pizzas, but we will have pizza. Christopher is going to go grab us some Orsies. Ain't that right, Chris? We're getting some Orsies pizza. And I'm going to try to talk Renita into making some St. Louis style dressing with the giblet gravy and all the fixings. I'm gonna try to talk Renita into doing it. I'm gonna try to talk Renita into doing it. She said, well, my guest fell asleep. Okay, she's on the over the road truck. Okay. So then, did you just hear what I said, Renita, about trying to get you talk you into making some St. Louis style dressing with some giblet gravy? You see me I'm not gonna lie to you. I could care less about fried rice. I want some St. Louis style dressing. I mean, we're gonna have to talk before you make it. Cause I mean, like I told you, most of my family from East St. Louis. So I know you know what I'm talking about when I say that I want some St. Louis style dressing. Please tell me you know what I'm talking about. Please. That's all I needed to hear. That's all I needed to hear. That's all I needed to hear. That right there. Thank you. Listen, I crave dressing twice a year. Twice a year. That's it. Twice. Thanksgiving and then 6 months either before or after. Okay? So you'll be here at the end of next month or whatever. So yeah, that's that we got to do that. Just throwing it out there. All right, so all right, let's get it started. What's going on, Jennifer? I don't see you, but Jer Bear said that you guys are together. So hello, happy to see you, dear. All right, so warning: if you are easily offended, please go somewhere else. Like I said before, we talk a lot about our dreams, goals, aspirations, problems. We go deep. We talk about a lot of deep-seated stuff. And if you can't handle that, please go somewhere else. Please do. But if you do want to get better, if you do want to take accountability, responsibility, ownership, and all that good stuff, then you're amongst friends and pull up a chair. Have a seat. Welcome to Axe Fearless. Okay? And please hit that like and subscribe, regardless of where you are. And here's another thing. Every time that we are talking to each other, when we're texting back and forth and all that, apparently it shows the algorithm that there's something going on over here. So the more that we're talking, the better I guess it looks. So thank you guys for participating in our conversations. But let's get it started. All right, so repetition is key, and we're going to talk about this quite often today. We've been talking about this for the last 70 shows. We're going to talk about it for the next 30. When we talk about repetition, we're talking about consciously being repetitive. So anything worth knowing, learning, teaching, or understanding revolves around doing it constantly. Okay? Not just unconsciously, but consciously doing it, which means you're doing it on purpose. Now, before we get started, ladies and gentlemen, you already know what I need to hear. There's 2 words that I need, ladies and gentlemen. Do you hear thunder roaring? Do you hear the thunder roaring? Do you hear the people booing me right now? See, ladies and gentlemen, this is what people are gonna do. They're gonna talk shit about you. They're gonna boo you. Lightning and thunder is gonna keep coming. It's gonna clap like an Instagram model's cheeks. You understand what I'm saying? There's only 2 words that can get me through. That can get me through it. And it is indubitably my hell yeah, which I've already gotten a couple of them. Thank you guys so much. I'm gonna shut this off. Oh my God, it's annoying. I really gotta find a different one. Just saying, I gotta find a different one. Thank you so much, Miss Renita. Thank you so much, Rebecca. Christopher, I know that you're coming. Miss Anya, I know that you're coming as well. Thank you, Christopher. Jer Bear, I know you're out and about. I can feel your hell yeah. I can feel it, kind sir. Jennifer, I can feel yours as well, and I appreciate it. Thank you much, counselor. Thank you much. All right, so here's the thing. Like anything else, ladies and gentlemen, I'm only here to help. Okay, I am not a mental health practitioner. I am not a licensed mental health practitioner. Everything that we do here is about coaching and consistently moving forward. That's it. Okay. I am a certified life coach, not a licensed therapist. I'm not a therapist. I don't want to be a therapist. If I wanted to be one, I'd have been one. Okay. That's how that works. All right, hold on. Apparently, Mr. Christopher said $62.50. That is what that costs you. I appreciate that, buddy. Thank you, kind sir. All right, hold on. Before I'm gonna try something out here. Give me a second. Give me a sec. Y'all hear the music? Today is Word of the Week. Sponsored by the word believe. Hold on, let's do our clapping. Yay! I mean, why we just have to do it this way. Yay! Yes, look at that. Yes. Who doesn't like a word sponsored by the word belief? Huh? There are sponsors today. So I'll shut it off now. Although I'm not gonna lie to you, I kind of like the music. Miss, what are you doing over there, Miss Renita? Thank you, Miss Renita. Thank you. See, Renita's like, you know what? I'm taking it. Thank you. All right, so belief is our word of the week. Definition. It is a noun, person, place, or thing. A conviction or acceptance that something is true or exists, often without proof. Okay? It is a mental acceptance of claim, idea, value, or experience as real, valid, or guiding. The one word that you will never hear that here's the thing. It's something that's true to you. It's not true to everybody, just you. Okay. So if you're looking up the word um, belief, and remember, we're about to talk about synonyms in a second. Hold on, matter of fact, here, let's go into it. So our synonym, our daily duality of belief. Duality means that there's two different sides to something. So our daily duality of belief, our synonym is conviction, which we just read, a strong, unwavering certainty about something. Now, the antonym of that, the opposite of belief, would be doubt, a feeling of uncertainty or lack there of conviction. Okay. Now, what's the difference between a fact and a belief? You might be asking. Well, I'll tell you. A fact is objective, which means that a fact is verifiably true. It means that whether you're here or not, it's still going to happen, whether you agree with it or not. The, the moon will go around the earth until something knocks it out of orbit or something knocks us out of orbit. That's going to happen whether you're here or not. Earth will circle around the sun whether you are here or not. It is a fact that doesn't need you to authenticate it because it's going to be here no matter what. That's what actual objective truth is. So it means that if you wanted to test it, you can still test it whether you're here or not. So that means that there's evidence, observation, or measurement to test something. That means if I get the one answer, you should get the same exact answer that I got. That's what a fact is. Okay? So the example is that water boils at 212 degrees at sea level. Okay? So if you wanted to boil something, as long as your stuff is at sea level, for the most part, that's what the temperature is going to be. Okay? So I'm saying. Now, belief, on the other hand, is a personal acceptance. Okay? Definition, a belief is something that you accept as true, whether it's not, whether it's not, whether it is or not, is irrelevant. But for the most part, it can't be proven one way or the other. Okay? So its test is based on perception, experience, or trust. I trust something, but you might go through the same thing like, I don't trust this. Okay? But there's no hard proof. Right? So if I were to say to you that money is one of the easiest things to come by, that might be that would be a what? That's not a fact. That's a belief, correct? Now, to me, I might say that's a fact based on what I know to be true, based on my experiences. But you have a different experience, and what's fact for me that may not be fact for you. So indeed, it's not a fact; it's an opinion. See what I mean? Good, 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 good. All right, so we got the other one. So belief. So again, this season, for the next 9 episodes, we're going to be talking about beliefs, values, principles, rules of engagement, and how to execute all this stuff. Okay. So we're basically going to take this week to kind of skim over everything that we've touched on, put it in a nice little bowl for you so that we can move forward in all the stuff that we're going to be creating. Deal? Sound like fun? Good. All right. So fun fact before we get started. Most of our beliefs were formed by the age of 7. Whether you know that or not. Early childhood, is when your subconscious is the most absorbent, meaning that many of your deepest, darkest truths weren't chosen. They were inherited like hand-me-downs. Okay? They were inherited, which means you didn't experience it. You were exposed to it. There's a difference. When you experience something, it's usually you experiencing it. Right? But when you're exposed to it, it means you're seeing somebody else go through it, and then you're just kind of taking on whatever it is that they do. Like yesterday, I was talking about my mom, how she's been wanting the love and admiration from her mother for so long, and then thought that I was gonna follow in place. No, buddy, I'm not doing all that. I see how that worked for you. No thanks. See what I mean? Now, but here's the thing. At first, I was trying to do the same thing that my mom was doing to her mom. Love me. Then I'm like, man, fuck that. Love yourself. Hold on. As a parent to two 7-year-olds who believe some wild shit, that's yes, it is. Yeah, that is. That is very terrifying. Yes, ma'am, it is. Yes, it is. She said that's some terrifying shit. All right, so number one, um, beliefs aren't chosen. We already talked about that. They're inherited. There's actually a really good book on that too, um, called "It Didn't Start with You" by Mark Woolen. Like I'm telling you, it's one of the greatest books that I've ever read on intergenerational trauma. I've never read anything as good as that. Never. I put it in my top 20 books that everybody should probably read that has had some type of trauma in life in general. That's one of the best books. Oh my God, Jerry. There's another book that you should read. It's called The Five Thieves of Happiness. I'll get the name of it. It's a preacher who wrote it. One of the again top 20 books. Very good book. I'll get it for you. You got to remind me though. All right. So anyway, so the question is, I'm sorry. All right. So the example is that you believe that conflict is dangerous, not because it is, but because you grew up watching other people implode or explode, and you watch things never get resolved. And then you watch that enough times and you start to think, oh, that's how things are supposed to be left. Things are supposed to be left unsaid. I didn't grow up like that. I grew up that if you got a problem with a person, pull up on them. That's how I grew up. Okay. So, question is, which belief do I carry that didn't come from my experience, but I was exposed to it? Tell me that's not a deep ass question to think about. Say hell yeah. Tell me that is not a deep ass question to think about. Tell me that is not a deep question. Which belief do I carry that didn't come from experience, my experience, but exposure? I was exposed to it. That's some deep shit, though, isn't it? Just saying. Miss Renita says yes. Christopher says yes. I gotta throw mine in. I gotta go hell yeah myself. I'm serious. When I wrote that, I was like, oh, that's nasty. Okay. So most of our belief system was shaped by repetition. Remember that word that we talked about? Fear or somebody else's survival. It was not a conscious choice. Remember, consciousness is something that you do on purpose. The unconscious mind, it just kind of absorbs whatever's around it. So most of your belief system was shaped by things that you do over and over and over and over and over. Whether you know you are doing it consciously or not is irrelevant. It got attached to you in some way, so that repetition turns into fear, or somebody else's survival mechanism now became your survival mechanism. So if you have low self-esteem, if you say horrible shit about yourself, if you have money issues, if you think, damn man, I'm gonna just stay broke. I can't figure stuff out. Majority of that stuff, if you really think about it, didn't start with you. That shit started with somebody else and you adopted it, grabbed onto it, or like a parasite, it attached itself to you, and you've been running that same fucking program that no longer serves you. As a matter of fact, most of the time, it was never yours to even serve you in the first place. See what I'm saying? That's why you got to be very careful who you spend your time with. So, what do we do? Now, tomorrow, we're going to really go into rebuilding our belief system. So, tomorrow, just like now, I hope that you guys got a fucking pen and pad and writing this stuff out. Okay? Because tomorrow, we're really going to be writing some stuff out, and we're really going to have to pay attention to what we're doing because season 9 is when we're going to start challenging ourselves to go do shit. What's up, Jessica? Okay. So for right now, what do? Audit those top 3 beliefs that you have. And I want you to just ask yourself, did I choose this? Is this belief my experience? Or did I absorb it? Was I exposed to it? Okay. Remember, experience is something that I go through. Okay. Exposure is something I saw you go through. And it just got attached to me. See what I mean? That's all I'm saying. Jessica, do you mind if I talk about your money thing just for a second? Do you mind if I talk about money just for a minute with you? Or about you? And again, I'm not gonna talk shit. I just want to make sure that people understand that like the difference. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. Um, since I've met Jessica, we've always talked about she's always been kind of um in awe about how I'm able to save money the way that I do, right? And I'm talking about like large amounts of money, not a little bit, like a lot, right? To the point where my account, my one of my accounts was down to like $25. Actually, I think it even went lower than that. And I'm just walking around whistling like there's nothing wrong. And but because I have all of these other accounts that I have money in, that shit didn't even bother me. And I can't. I'll build it back up eventually. And plus, I mean, I got 30 more days to do this. After we're done with this, I'm gonna build that shit right the fuck back up. Not a problem, right? But one of the things that I've been teaching Jessica, damn near since we met, it's the same thing I taught you guys. Put 10% of your income away. Pay yourself first. It's a very simple thing to do, but a lot of people don't do that. Chris just told me yesterday or the day before, hey man, I put $25 away. I got paid. The first thing I did was pay myself. Still proud of my guy for doing that. As a matter of fact, Jessica just told me not too long ago, man. This is like the first, I think she told me 3-4 days ago, I think. Man, I was finally able to put some money aside. See what I'm saying? It only took 3-4 fucking years for her to listen to me. It only took 3 or 4 years for her to listen, right? But the way that she was raised, they weren't really good with money either. So it wasn't necessarily her experience, it was what she was exposed to. And if nobody's really talking to you about money, how are you going to know? You see what I'm saying? You guys get me on that? Just give me a thumbs up. Like I said, anything you guys do is good for the algorithm. Okay? So number 2, what you believe shapes what you tolerate. What y'all think about that? What you believe shapes what you tolerate. Thank you, Ms. Thank you, Renita. Thank you too, Chris. Right? So you stay draining. You stay draining. You stay in draining relationships because deep down you don't believe, or you do believe that you're hard to love. Or sometimes you don't believe that people are just going to love you for you. Right? Hmm. Okay. Jerry, thank you, sir. Right? So question is what have I been tolerating because of what I believe about myself? And this is kind of going back to what we talked about yesterday too, right? Like I said, man, a lot of what we talk about is repetition. You know what I'm saying? All of it is based on the same skeleton. We just putting we're just putting a different skin and different clothes on it. But the skeleton's still the same. You see what I'm saying? So when we talk about our dreams, goals, aspirations, problems, they're all based on the same shit. Who, what, where, why, when, how, and if. Excuse me, you guys take off the if, but that's what I do. Because I'm always thinking about, if this is, what about this, and if that, and if this, whatever. So I'm always basing everything off of possibility. Okay. But your thing is who, what, where, why, when, and how. Okay. So what have I been tolerating because of what I believe about myself? Okay. Now, the reality is of that beliefs set your threshold, not only for success, but also for suffering. So, that same belief that you have about having low self esteem, you don't think that that's going to show up in other things, in other areas in your life? Low self esteem ain't going to just show up in one area, it's going to show up in a multitude of areas. When you think that you're amazing at one thing, you're going to think that you're amazing at other things. You see what I'm saying? Your belief is what sets the stage for everything to sit on. All of it. Now we can bypass that. Again, that's what we're beliefs, values, principles, rules of engagement, and execution. So I'll teach you how to do that. But for right now, we're still stuck at the bottom rung, right? So beliefs set your threshold for success and for suffering. It's all based on the belief family. Whether you believe you can or you can't. It's all based on your thought process. See what I mean? There was a question I posed to Henry 40 years ago. Y'all can look this up. He was asked by a reporter, if you lost everything to tomorrow, how long would it take for you to get it all back? Thought a second, two. He said, I'd have everything back within 5 years. I want y'all to think about that. This man at the time was a billionaire. At that time, he was a billionaire. And he said, I would have it all back within 5 years. Do you guys remember when we did the lottery? You guys remember when we talked about the lottery and I showed you all those numbers? Do you guys remember what how long it is that people go broke whenever they get a windfall of money? When do people go broke? About when do they go broke? There was a time period. Now, and not just lottery winners. Yes. God damn it, Christopher. Yes. Within 5 years. NBA players, NFL players, most of them big major league type stuff, usually within 5 years of them retiring, they're broke again. They're broke. So again, Whatever you believe will shape what you tolerate. And not just what you tolerate, what your will, whatever your threshold is, that's what you're gonna accept. So if it's up here, you'll get that. If it's down here, you're gonna get that. All that does is all the money does is cover up what you really actually are. Like I told you, if you're a good person and you're selfless when you're broke, you're gonna be selfless when you got money. If you're a selfish fuck without money, what do you think you're gonna be with it? Whatever you are, whatever you believe is what you're gonna tolerate. Not only for yourself, but for everybody else around you. Okay, so what do? Replacing beliefs that tolerate harm with the ones that demand respect. And like I said, tomorrow we're going to go into talking about the actual how to build substantial belief systems. Okay, I don't know if it's going to be fun, but because it's going to be really challenging for some of y'all, but I'll make it fun. I'll try to at least. All right, fun fact time. I said time. Your brain sees beliefs as survival tools. Your brain does not care if a belief is true or not. It only cares if it keeps you alive. That's why limiting beliefs can feel so safe even when they're sabotaging your growth. Have you guys ever felt that? Give me a show of hands if you felt that before. That your brain or something within you was holding you back from moving forward to reaching another height, from achieving something so monumental, but something in the back of your mind kept saying, nah, don't, don't, don't. That's why. This, you can see it right here. This is what happens. You see what I'm saying? This is how it happens. Because your belief sees beliefs as a survival tool. And most of your beliefs are just shit that you've you've repeated and you repetitively practice over and over and over and over and over. It's just like if you have to drive 10 miles to work every single day through everything, eventually your body, and not just your body, but your mind will get used to it. You're going to be able to be on the phone. You're going to be able to do all kinds of stuff. But think about it. If road construction pops up, what happens? It breaks your concentration, right? So it breaks that pattern up. So then you have to create in your mind, it creates a new neural pathway because something just interrupted it. Remember what we talked about before? About interrupting those patterns? I told you all this shit is repetition, y'all. It's all the same stuff. Over and over and over. All right, let's move to the next. Okay, so vague values, now we're talking about values, create chaotic lives. So example, you say family first, but consistently feel torn, guilty, and resentful. You say family first, but constantly feel torn, guilty, and resentful. So let's look at our question. What values do I say that I live by? And what values do my actions show? See, those are two different things, aren't they? I don't want to do 20. Okay. 20. Right, there's my constitution. There's my value list. Right, there's my values, right? Remember this? I still got it. Caden, friends, family. Reading, learning, teaching, stay solid in my principle and character, helping other people find clarity, health, mental, physical, travel. I don't give a fuck about traveling, but I still got it in there, right? My constitution says what? Be the best father that I can be. Stay calm and solid in my character. Lead by example, even if what? Even if I'm alone. Why do I talk like that? Why do I talk like that? Because I live that shit. That's why it's so easy for me to go back to it. Cause I live that shit. Okay? I live it. Reality is if your values aren't defined, you'll keep betraying them and then calling it life. If your values are not defined, you'll keep betraying them and calling it life. Jennifer, don't worry, I got you. Another reason why we're kind of going back through these is because I know that you weren't here through some of this, and I really think it's going to be really fun for you to learn how to do some of these. That's kind of the reason why we're going back to it. So, excuse me. The first couple days, today and tomorrow, we're talking about beliefs. Excuse me. A couple days after, we're going to talk about values. A couple days after, for 2 days, we're going to talk about values. For 2 days, we're going to talk about building our principles. For 2 days, we're going to be talking about which will, we're going to get everybody on the same page with this. Rules of engagement. Rules of engagement. So the rules of engagement are what gives gasoline, which is the motor, which is the umph, the fire that fuels your principles and your values. I wanted to save it for last, but I figured that, I mean, we only got 30 episodes left. I might as well give it to you now. Okay. And then the last couple of days, we're going to talk about how do we execute it? How do we execute our beliefs, our values, our principles, rules of engagement? How do we execute these things? So by the time we're done with this next 10 days, you'll have everything that you need with whatever problem arises. Or not just problems, you'll have enough to not only help yourself, but anybody else around you, whether it's a problem or you guys are just helping people set goals. Same shit. Works the same exact way. Okay? All right, let me take Chris's thing off. Okay, what to do? Um, okay. Write up your top 5 in one sentence each. And then if you can't define them, well, sorry about that. Okay. Sorry, my brain just went blank for a sec. Write out your top 5. Right? That's what I did. That's kind of what you saw, right? 5 things that you love about life, write it in a sentence, right? Why that shit's important to you, right? Because here's the thing, if you cannot define them, you can't live by them. The reason why I don't have all the same issues, okay, let me rephrase it. I have the same exact problems that everybody else does. Okay? I have the same exact ones. The only difference is that I know what my values are. I know what my belief system is. I know where my cracks are. I know what my principles are. I have my rules of engagement and I know how to execute the shit. But I also know how to chill the fuck out. See what I mean? And that's all I'm gonna teach you guys. Same shit. All right, so number 4. All right, your constitution is louder than your emotions. Again, we've already talked about this. You already know that. Example. Well, actually, no. Jennifer doesn't know that. Um, so you wanted to lash out, but you didn't because your personal code, constitution, code, principles, all the same shit to me, said that's not how I move. That's not how I operate. Okay. When you understand what moves you, and you create these principles for yourself or this so-called constitution for yourself, it allows you to move a little differently, a lot differently, actually. Okay. I'm just saying. So the question that you have to ask yourself is, do I act from principle or am I just reacting? Let me ask you guys a question. And please be honest, because again, we're going to be talking about this in the next 5 days, actually, God willing, inshallah. Um, for those of you who actually have principles, because remember, consult your constitution, because remember, we talked about it, we wrote them up. How many of you still find yourself being reactionary as opposed to acting from principle? And I'm just asking. So if you act from principle, put P. If you act reactionary still, put R. So if it's a P, put principle. Or excuse me, if it's a principle, put P. If it's reactionary, put R. Okay. You said I work for them. She said I'm basing it off these principles. Okay. Jerry Bear said P too. Okay. Damn. Okay. That's what's up. What say you, Rebecca? And like I said, Jennifer, if you're around, we'll work on yours too. I don't think Yadi's here. I don't know where she is, but we'll try to help her work on hers too, because I still don't think she ever did hers either. Hey, I love that. Thank you. That's what's up. That's what's up. Listen, man, listen. There's gonna be some times that you're reactionary. Okay? Like I keep trying to tell y'all, man, y'all gonna fuck up. You're going to. I just want to see how you guys are doing so we can make any minor corrections if we need to. That's all I'm saying. Okay? So reality is your constitution doesn't remove emotion. Okay? Doesn't remove it. It rules over it. See what I'm saying? So you can still feel however you need to, but you understand that this right here is what rules over this. My constitution is this right here. Am I still gonna freak out? Am I still gonna crash out on you every so often? Yes, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. But what you'll find is that it'll happen fewer and fewer and fewer and fewer times. That's all we're saying. Okay? That's all we're doing. None of y'all gonna be perfect at this. That's okay. Okay? So stop trying to be perfect about all this shit. It's no, you're gonna fuck up. That's fine. Get back on that horse, okay? All right, so what to do? Number 3, build 3 non-negotiable rules, which again, we've already done that, but Jennifer, we're gonna take you through this whole process as well. Build 3 non-negotiable rules that affect who you are, not just how you feel. Okay? And this is what we're gonna do when we're building that constitution in general. And if you really think about it, your constitution are non-negotiables because that's what fuels your values. See what I mean? Okay. What to do? I think we're done. We got that part. All right. Fun fact. Um, your beliefs filter what you notice and ignore. Your beliefs filter what you notice and what you ignore. This is called confirmation bias. You naturally seek out information that confirms what you already believe and unconsciously reject what does not fit. One of the things that I do consistently, every time I'm writing up this stuff, I'll put it through ChatGPT and I'll tell it to tell me what all the cons are. What are the pros of what I'm talking about? And what are the cons of what I'm talking about? Renita, remember when you told me, you said, I would love to ask more questions about how it works, but you've already touched on the pro and the con for the most part. That's why there's usually no questions in how or why it works, because I've already added that into the presentation of why this works, how it doesn't, the who, what, where, why, when, how, and if. You know, if this doesn't work this way, this is what we do. If it doesn't work that way, this is what we do. Or this is how we do it. And this is when we do it. This is where we do it from. You know what I mean? This is who we need to do this to. That's the reason why sometimes you guys don't have a lot of questions, is because I already put that in to everything that I do. So I'm always looking to challenge my bias, because I have them too. So they give me the pros, and they give me a bunch of them, and then they give me a bunch of cons. And then when I write this stuff out for you, I already know what I'm going to talk about, both good and bad. That's why I started adding more questions to ask, if that makes any sense. Does that make sense, Rebecca? I mean, Renita, I'm sorry, dear. Okay, number 5. Rules of engagement aren't just for conflict, they're for clarity. And you guys already know where I'm going when I talk about clarity. Where does clarity start from, y'all? Where does clarity start? I'm really asking. Look at her. Hey, Jennifer. God damn. Jennifer, are you and Rebecca together? God, are all of y'all together? How is it that every one of y'all came in with the same answer? The same exact answer. Good evening, Miss Taylor. Good evening. Said, nope, just kindred spirits. I like that. That's awesome. I love that. Oh, okay. 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 All right, that makes sense. Okay, so examples. So you keep getting into messy arguments because you've never decided how you engage when triggered. All right. And again, this is some of the stuff you can put in your principles, but rules of engagement, that's something a little differently. Remember when I told you that let me see if I can let me see. I'm gonna try to find some of mine so I can show you guys what these are. Give me a second. Okay, let me see. Oh, there we go. Okay. Let me show you guys this. Damn, really? It stopped showing it. Okay, hold on. Window. Okay, do you guys see this? Of course they do. Okay, so I took this picture when I was homeless. Like, no joke. But my thing says stay calm. Right? Staying calm helps you make better decisions. It helps you see the field in its entirety. By staying calm, it helps you blah 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 remain under pressure, over control. It allows you to gather your thoughts, and then it also makes you look superhuman, or it makes you look like a fucking sociopath. Just throwing that out there, right? But that's what a yeah, no, for sure. No, you're right. No, you're very much right about that, and that's what happens though. Unfortunately, no, you're very much right about that. Okay, so all right, so then that's the first one, right? So then the other one is assume that nobody's coming to save you. Okay, I'm just gonna go down the list for a second, so you guys can kind of see when I talk about rules of engagement. This is what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is not the same as my principles. These are that the rules around that make my principles work. So number one, fucking stay calm. How long have I told y'all this? You know what I'm saying? Like, and as you can see up on top, it says philosophical principles up on top, and it says 31324, copy two. So this means that I wrote this years ago, but I only copied it in 2004. I mean, not four, but 2024 is when I had to copy it again. Okay. So, so assume that nobody's coming to save you. Life is a TV, blah, 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 blah. Everything that you need is already within you. So, you must have your own fucking bag. Now, why did I feel that way? Because I was going through that, right? Accept things as they are, right? If you look at the bottom one, none of us are promised tomorrow, including our children. Everything has an expiration date. Cars break down, family homes become parking lots, businesses close, governments and empires fucking fall. That happens. We must see things for the way that they are, not the way that we want to see them. These are my fucking rules of engagement. Here's the other one. Number three, stop attaching yourself to everything. We attach our happiness to external things: cars, houses, promotions, friends, families, possessions, ideas. We attach we are attached to the things that we have as well as the things that we do not. If you can't answer who you are with it, you'd be better off without it. Now, I'm not going to read each and one of these things. Create your own merit, reframe your own history, why it's so serious. Um, Nothing can ever be taken away from you because technically you don't really ever own anything. Make full use of everything that happens to you. Now, if you notice, these are not, and I repeat, these are not a part of my principles. And this guy right here, this is Viktor Frankl. Remember that guy I was telling you about, um, whose whole entire family was wiped out, and all he thought about was his wife while he was in that concentration camp? That's him. That's him. This man survived one of the worst atrocities in human history. One of, because that wasn't the only one, right? But he talked about meaning, making whatever happened to you mean something. Don't just go through it just to go through it. Go through it to grow through that shit. You know, seriously, that's why you went through it. And sometimes that's why you have to keep going through it because you haven't learned shit yet. And you can wonder, why do I keep going through this? Because you keep doing the same shit. That's why. Yeah, this is the other one that I had to. Everything is perfect. Everything is already perfect. And this is what I was talking about before, Jerry. These are called lodgepole, lodgepole pine cones. And they can only be activated through intense heat, which means these things are not activated unless there's a fucking forest fire. You're not going to see these trees, or the only way you saw one of these as a tree is because there was a fire that happened however many years ago. That's how that works. And my argument is that I usually hear war, famine, crime, racism, global warming, gas prices, geopolitics, poverty, divorce, marriage, government, greed, and the list goes on, right? But one of the things that I tell people is that we live, well, as cute as it might be, we live the dream that Dr. Martin Luther King talked about. We are currently living the dream that that man talked about. Now, like I said, it is not the best one. It is very skewed, but we are still living that dream that that man talked about. It'll to me, it'll get better and worse from here, but eventually it will get better. It has to. And then guess what happens once it gets better? It'll get worse because that's the season for it. Okay, I'm gonna close this out. But can you guys kind of understand like why I'm so like like why I harp on this shit so much and why it means so much to me? Can I get a hell yeah? Did you guys understand like why I'm always talking about this stuff? Like because I went through it. Like all of this shit. Like you know what I mean? Like I went through all of it. So I would never tell you guys to do something that I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. See, there's a reason why those my principles. Hold on, where are we at with those? Here's my principles: be the best father I can be. Stay calm. Lead by example. Ask for help. Embrace the journey. Be the dreamer. Smile and have fun. You didn't see any of these on my rules of engagement, did you? Not a goddamn one. None of them. Why? Because every single one of those things fuel this. Just like this fuels my belief system, and my belief system fuels my values. All of this shit works tandemly together. All of it. I remember what I told you guys. If I can go back and talk to myself while I was going through all that shit, can anybody tell me what I said that I would say to myself? Can anybody tell me what I said that I would say to myself? Can anybody remember what I said that I would say to myself if I can go back and go talk to me? The guy who was in the car. There was something that I said. Can anybody remember what I said? And it wasn't written down. It was something that came out of my mouth. It was something that I said that I would say to myself while I was going through all that stuff. If I can go back and talk to myself, I would tell myself one thing. Matter of fact, it was to do one thing. Anybody? Come on, I know y'all. I know y'all was in there listening. I know y'all was. I fucking hold on. Nope. I forgot what we were talking about, but I know it had to be like another. It's like a week or so ago that I said if I could go back and talk to myself, I would tell myself to do one thing. I said that I could tell myself, I told myself, like, hey, number one, you're going to be okay. You're going to be fine. But I need you to do something for me while you're in this state. Somebody guess, just say something. Just guess it. I got Yes! 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 Fuck yes! Yes! That's what I said. Yes. God, yes. Hold on. Gotta do it. Hold on. Man, yes. Yes. There it is. I told myself if I can go back and talk to me, I would tell myself to take more pictures. Because I'd say, man, you'll be okay. Take more pictures. Take more pictures. You see what I'm saying? Take more pictures. Shit, teacher's pet. Hey, thank you for listening, man. That means a lot to me. I'm not even bullshitting. That means a lot to me. Thank you. But I just wanted to show you guys, like, just how serious this shit is. Like, and I want you guys to think about it like this. Why is it that I can go through all this stuff, come out and be more than okay on the other side? And I didn't have anybody really in my corner to help me. Nobody. I had a friend or two gave me a place to stay, but one of those things, one of those rules of engagement was to assume that nobody's coming. So if I have to assume that nobody's coming, what does that mean for me? What do I have to do? If I assume that ain't nobody coming to save me, what do I then do? Somebody give me an answer. Somebody give me an answer. To save yourself. Yeah, you gotta do it yourself. Yeah. Rebecca, send me your hey, my cash app is I think it's $Axe Fearless. Very simple. $Axe Fearless. Request it from me and I'll send it to you. $Axe Fearless. Or Cash App. But y'all right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, y'all right. Save him. You gotta save yourself. I had to save myself. You know what I'm saying? Because I couldn't sometimes you can't sit around waiting for somebody else to come do it for you. You know what I'm saying? You cannot sit around waiting. Send it now, Rebecca. You cannot sit around waiting for somebody to come save you. And now here's the thing. I'm not saying that ain't nobody coming for you. I'm not saying that. Because one of the first things I teach my son, taught my son, if you guys remember, keep your hand up and always ask for help. Right? That's one of the first things I taught my son. Ask for help. Remember, I don't get mad at him for bad grades. I get mad at him for not asking for help. You see what I'm saying? But now that I ask for help, I assume that ain't nobody coming. But I still got to send that beaker out. Because when help does come, which it does, and it will, I want help to already see me working. Y'all see what I'm saying? I wanted to already have seen me working. That's how that works. Remember when we talked about the law of attraction? The law of attraction works because you're an attractive person. It works like a magnet. What is it about you that's going to attract the right people? What is it about you that keeps attracting piece of shit people around you? Just something to think about, right? Just saying. All right, reality is without personal rules, you'll default to survival mode in every emotional exchange. You'll go right back to survival mode. Didn't we just talk about that yesterday? Yeah, I think we talked about that yesterday, didn't we? Either yesterday or the day before. It's all the same shit. You're going to go right back to doing what you were doing before. Because your values ain't set, your principles ain't set, your rules of engagement ain't set. Or you have them, but you ain't never used them. Okay? So what do? Write out your rules for how you deal with the disagreement, boundaries, and disrespect, and then you practice them. Y'all hear what I'm saying? You practice that shit over and over and over. The greatest things about that I love about being a philosopher in general, the greatest thing that I learned about philosophy was that they would, it's not that Stoics were like superhuman, it's that they would take the worst situations and they would, hold on, let me show y'all this for 1 second. They would take the worst situations and they would, let me see. Okay, let me see if I can do this. Okay, what? So, come on, give me 1 second, guys. Okay, here we go. Asshole. Okay, let me show you this. Okay, so here, going back here again, right? So accept things as they are. Like I said before, we must see things for as they are, not the way that we want to see them. Everything has an expiration date. I know I just read this. None of us are promised tomorrow, including our children. They thought about the worst situations possible and they would live them and live them and live them until it just became a part of them. I've been living that way for years. My father dies. I'm sorry to hear that. But I'm also happy for him, right? My son is the greatest love of my life. But tomorrow's not promising him neither. Hence, while they're here, you gotta love the shit out of them. Give them all the hugs and kisses and all the love that you possibly can because you don't know when your time is up or theirs. Shit happens to people every day, children included. Okay? Children included. All right, so number 6, who you used to be, and this is very important. Who you used to be cannot lead who you are becoming. Who you used to be can't lead who you are becoming. I'm going to say that one more time because it's so important. Who you used to be cannot lead who you are becoming. Example, you're still making choices based on the scared version of you, even though you've outgrown that fear. Show of hands, how many of us still catch ourselves doing that? Show of hands, how many of us still catch ourselves doing this? Just saying. Christopher says hi. You're still making choices based on that scared version of you, even though you've already outgrown that bullshit. But you still got that old you running what's going on right now and what's going to happen in the future. Why do y'all think where do you think anxiety comes from? You didn't need therapy for that. I just told you. You now just understood where anxiety comes from. An old program thinking that the old program is going to be based in the future too. Because you have to go to the future. You have these dreams, wants, and all these things of being something more, but you're still doing the same shit you were doing then because you're still running off the same system that you had then, and you're taking that shit into the future. And then you wonder why you have anxiety. That's why. If you were cool, calm, and collective, and you really didn't give two shits about much, especially something out there that ain't got nothing to do with you, how anxious would you be about the future? You wouldn't really give too much of a fuck because you're focusing right now. I mean, would you not be? If you were cool, calm, and collective constantly, why would you be worried about the future? Future ain't got shit to do with you. Right now does, though. See what I mean? I'm not telling you not to turn up. I'm not telling you that you're not going to be anxious or excited for the future. But think about excitement, though, for the future. I'm excited for the future, but I'm still in the now. I'm excited for 100 episodes, but I still got to get past 70. You see what I'm saying? Do you guys see what I mean by that? So we're not just talking about, oh man, he's out, he's always in the future. Fuck that. No. I'm in the now. I plan for the future, but I live right here. I hope for the best for the future, but I know that there's bullshit out there too. So when everything's cool, this is when I work on being cool, calm, collective. This is when I work on my dreams, goals, aspirations, problems, my beliefs, my values, my principles, my rules of engagement. When I created this shit, I was in the thick of everything. Why you think not much bothers me much anymore? When you get everything fucking taken from you, when everything gets stripped, and you start to see things for exactly what it is, the only thing that would hurt me if I lost everything is my kid. Because he ain't nowhere near used to something like that. But I think I'm going to have to get him ready for some shit like that. And I'm not saying that like we're going to be homeless, no shit like that or nothing. Like, nah. What I'm saying is that I think there's this thing I'm going to start doing with him that gets him ready to just have to drop everything at the drop of a hat and pivot everything. Because a lot of us are not like that. You see what I'm saying? We're so used to things being the way that they are that when change really does come, we are nowhere near ready for it. Nowhere near ready for it. You know? So the question is, am I letting an outdated version of myself steer my current and future decisions? And I think that we all said that we've done that. Some of us are even still doing that. Okay? So what's the reality? Reality is that you can't create new outcomes using an old pattern. So for the next 10 days, this is all we're going to work on. Okay? What to do, name 3 habits, thoughts or beliefs that are and this is something I really want you guys to do. So turn your phone aside, take a pic. I really want you guys to do this. Please. Please do this. And then bring it in tomorrow so we can talk about it. Name 3 habits, 3 thoughts or behaviors, right? That are old, that we can actually retire them publicly and personally. So you ain't got to tell me exactly what they are. Just say, hey, Fearless, I got them. I got 3 habits. I got some thoughts. I got some beliefs. Matter of fact, shit, I got some patterns that I'm even doing. Some activities that I'm doing that are old that we need to retire so that we can work on that. Can I get a yes? That's kind of your homework assignment for tonight. Can I get a commitment that will do that? Can I get a commitment that will do it? 3 habits. Give me some thoughts, some beliefs that are the old you, so we can work on trying to retire that shit. You ain't got to even tell me exactly what they are. Just say, I got them. Okay, thank you, Miss Rebecca. She said yes. Okay. What say the rest of y'all? Rebecca said yes. What about you, Jennifer? Can I get a yes? What about you, Christopher? Can I get a yes? Miss Renita, can I get a yes, Jennifer? Jer Bear? Chris, thank you guys. Thank you. Got 3 yeses. That's all I needed. All right, so fun fact, last one. Um, Beliefs don't just shape your thoughts, they write the rules. So beliefs don't just shape your thoughts, they write the rules. If you believe you're unworthy, you'll tolerate mismanagement. If you believe you're valuable, you'll create boundaries. Beliefs are the root systems of your reality. You already know that because we've already talked about it. If you want an apple, what kind of tree did you plant? If you want oranges, what type of seeds do you plant? You cannot, you will never get a fruit that you didn't plant. That when it sprouts up, it's going to give you exactly what's in the ground. Period. It's going to give you exactly what's there. So if you want something different, I don't give a shit how often you try to change that fruit out. It is never going to work. Never. You cannot, and I'm so happy to say this, you cannot think your way to a new fucking belief. It does not work that way. You cannot think your way to a new belief system. Doesn't work. You have to uproot that shit, resoil, replant, and put the work in. If you consciously destroyed this shit over here, built it over here, you're going to consciously have to put the work in to undo the shit that you've done. You guys get me in that? It doesn't just shape your thoughts, it rewires the rules that go with it. Okay? All right. So here is our intro into season what is this? Season 8. I can send all these to you guys too. If you need them. Matter of fact, I'll send them right now or whatever so we can. Hold on one sec. Let me send this to you guys. Please. Hold on. What are we doing over here? Did I send those already? Nope. Oh, please. All right, everybody. It is sent. It is sent. But I do want to know what you guys thought, though. Which ones resonated with you the most? Because, again, we're going to talk about each and every one of these. We're really going to go into them. Starting tomorrow, we're going to touch on beliefs one more time. At least I think so. Unless you guys want to keep touching on it so it becomes something that's automatic. But which ones did you guys like the most? Give me 3 answers and we're out of here. Jerry, Jennifer, Rebecca, Renita, Chris, which ones did you guys like? I need 3 of you. I'm sure he is. How is he already? He just said something to me like 3 minutes ago. All right, so Chris said 3 and 1. Jennifer said 1, 4, and 5. Okay. Man, I can't wait to work on yours with you. Does Jerry have a CPAP machine? Because he seems like he would have one. I have one. I love it. Just saying. I'm not saying it to be funny. I'm just saying, really. Oh, Renita said 2, 4, and 5. Okay. Sweet. I don't know. What I'm telling you, man. Man, I love mine. I rarely do not sleep without it. I love it. Love it. Took me some time getting used to it, but whatever. But all right, guys, thank you guys so much. I kept you guys a few minutes after. I will see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow again, bring your thinking caps. Please do our thing. Name 3 habits or thoughts or behaviors that you guys are doing so we can retire them. Just write some shit out. I don't care what it is. Write anything, even if it's stupid. Write it down anyway. Cool? All right, guys. I will see you tomorrow. Have a great night. Get some sleep. Dream big. And I will see you guys tomorrow. I was going to say the morning. I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right. Bye.